How do you grow your podcast organically without spending a penny? This is a question that Sean Boyle asked us in one of our Facebook groups, and it's something that I feel very passionate about helping. The reason that I feel passionate about helping out on this is not every podcaster has the cash, especially in the early days, to throw at paid for marketing and marketing that costs you something to be able to test. There are some organic things that you can do. We all want to grow our podcast. I'm just like you. I want to grow my audience and grow my show. And if we don't have the revenue to invest, the only other thing that we've got to invest is, of course, time. Now, time is the one thing that none of us are getting back, and we've got to be really careful where we spend that time and where we invest that time. If one of our main goals is to grow our podcast organically and not spend money, when we say organically, we're talking about not spending money on paid advertising. We have to put the time into building relationships. When I first started in podcasting back in 2013, I literally trod the beat, I walked the beat, and I still do that now. I'm at every single conference. I'm very fortunate that I can do that through work, but I was at every conference. And the kicker with that was that I was applying to speak at every conference. So this is the first thing that I want you to consider. How can you not necessarily attend podcast conferences, which is what a lot of podcasters do because it's fun to be around podcasters, but attend conferences in your niche, in your genre, in your industry? I want you to become the go-to expert in your field. And the way to do that is, look, you're already podcasting, you know about talking, you've got the confidence to talk. So go ahead and apply to be a speaker at these events. The cool thing with that is that normally gets you, you're paid for travel. It will normally get you, you're paid for hotel, and it gets you a conference ticket. A conference ticket to a conference where your audience will be. So that is really a cheap and effective way of doing it. And all you're doing is giving your time because you're preparing a speech, preparing a talk, and delivering that talk. So I want you to start to apply to become a speaker. I know you're thinking, Mark, I'm scared of public speaking. And I get that. I really understand that, but you need practice doing it. And listen to me, you are already podcasting, so you are already a fantastic speaker. I believe that, and I want you to believe that because it's true. Public speaking is a fantastic way of doing what you want to do, which is to build organic growth into your podcast audience. The second thing that I want you to do is to understand the power of networking. Now, networking doesn't cost a penny. Sure, you can go out and you can buy coffee and you can have a brew with people, and that is still a fantastic way of doing it. But I'm talking about how can you collaborate with your audience in such a way that you network with them naturally. I'm talking free webinars. I'm talking putting on online summits. I'm talking collaborating on content exchanges with people in your industry. This is networking for the now. It's a podcaster's dream because we're sat on an arsenal and a toolkit of content that is just enviable to other content marketers. We have access to audio equipment. We have access to the ability to record bonus episodes and just do that on a whim. So you have the power to network and collaborate. You can put webinars on. You can run summits. And if you're wondering how do I run a webinar, we do have things around that on how to do that on podcastsuccessacademy.com, where we teach podcast marketing. What I want you to understand right here is that it's very clear that, like I said, time is the thing that you need to invest, but also the thing that you've already got by virtue of being a quality podcaster already is your knowledge. So marry your time and your knowledge up and start to give it away for free on webinars, on summits, on collaborative blog posts and podcast episodes. Go ahead and work on giving your time and your knowledge away, and that is how you can organically grow your show. The last thing that I'm going to talk about here when it comes to organically growing your podcast is collaboration with other podcasters. One of the things that struck me so hard when I entered podcasting for the very, very first time back in 2013 was that podcasters want to collaborate with each other. There's very rarely any kind of animosity or competition or contest between podcasters vying for the same audience, because ultimately podcast listeners listen to more than one podcast. So let's make sure that we're collaborating with other podcasters to make sure that our 2 podcasts or 3 podcasts are the things that our audience are listening to. So I'm talking promo swaps, episode drops, where you drop an episode of each other's content into each other's feeds, trailer swaps, guesting. So all of these things that you can use to get yourself in front and get them in front of your audience. That is what you need to do to organically grow your show. So 3 tips right there to help you today. All of these things you can do without spending a penny. So go ahead, get started. Let me know what I can do. Either hit me up on Twitter or in the YouTube comments. Let me know what I can do to help you to grow your show. And if you need anything, make sure to hit subscribe, because we talk about this stuff a lot. My job is to help you to grow. All right, you got this.